All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for January 8th, 2024. Just had the first session of the small group coaching program off to a flying start. Feels pretty good. Guys, getting ready to do some good work. A year-long process of weekly accountability sessions. Sounds like 20 miles of bad road in a good way. All right, I'll start with the hybrid swing portfolio, 30-minute charts, and we're looking for, there it is, Alcoa 30 minutes. And today was a gap down, sell off, reverse hard. So we bought that here with the standard risk, and then it went nowhere. So we ended up scratching, no overnight position. AI was a beauty. So that was last week. We cashed one here, had a gap up. Actually, it opened here and then went rocketing up. Standard risk when it hit the Bollinger Band mean, and then just did nothing but do good and closed well. So that's holding 2R, and we have a nice cushion, and we are above that resistance level. So I like that for heading into tomorrow. And that's can say that about a lot of the tech plays today. Caterpillar, beauty in every possible way. I should have added. This one, the Bollinger Band means sell off, reverses. The Dragon recovered and is going well. The R10 has given us Kata 2s all the way up, and that thing closed at the top of the stack, and it gave us 3R on a Kata 2, and all good. Full speed ahead. Cliff, gap down and then reverse up, scratch. CVS. This one was a monster of a trade on the intraday, and I just want to describe what it did on the 30-minute bars and why I wasn't trying to do it. So it opened here, sold all the way off, went all the way back up, sold all the way off again, and then did this and closed. So there was some 3-minute bar trading inside here, but no swing trade. Wouldn't even think about it. Disney. This was a big gap up and started failing. So we got short, and it came all the way back to the edge of the dragon. So the gap up was to here. And then it reversed. A risk box off the top, so I got short. Came all the way down to here, then back, then down, and as it reversed again, that just felt like enough. It was so close to the VWAP and above the dragon that I decided just to net 1R on it, and then avoided it like the plague the rest of the day. Devon Energy, gap down, sell off hard, 1, 2, 3 entry, crossing the VWAP, standard risk, closed well. We're holding 3R on the positive side of the Bollinger Band mean, and that's getting ready to turn. So this is right at the 12 o'clock position, so this is coming down. Now if the river turns, then this thing could really go. And it's very close to testing resistance at almost at 46. So I like the move to here, and then we'll find out if it has legs. And then if it gets above 47, then it has a real chance to go. So this is all tactical, operational. Let's go Devon Energy. It was all triggered by buying a low risk position on a morning hook in the standard way. Emerging markets, gap reversal, 123 entry, 1R exit. ETH, no trade. Mexico, this was a carryover from Friday, which closed well. It didn't really move much today, and then started to stall. And I took the PSAR exit just to get 1, 2, 3, 4, to take 5R and go home. Brazil, 2R and go home. Intel, gap up and go, and closed well, and didn't want overnight risk, so we captured 3R. IP, I thought hard about this one yesterday or Friday at the close, but we cashed it. This one I waited to see the second leg up. This was a span of control issue. This was kind of a grinding move. Intraday it did that. So I treated that as like a Kata 2 in a rising dragon, rising river, rising PSAR, international paper. There was strength in the industrials today, like Caterpillar as well. So this just felt okay. And I'm going to hold that one. We're holding plus 1R, and I think that one can just go. Real estate, same thing, 2R. Coca-Cola, same thing, 2R. Regional banks, Kata 2 entry. It closed well. I like how it held support at the Bollinger Band main and the VWAP and then refused to lose. So this could be a resumption of strength in finance. I like that the price closed well. As I was trying to decide whether or not to hold it overnight, this nice move here took it above the peak of the PSAR and the R10. So I like that as a signal for tomorrow. We'll see. We got an R cushion on it, and we'll see. Place your bets, and you play the game. McDonald's, it was a grinder. What I liked on it was that all day it did not fail, whereas last week was all about failure. So this was some sideways support, and then we got an afternoon move across the Bollinger Band main, broke out above the R10 peak. So we took it, and then I didn't want to hold overnight risk. So that's holding, that was 3R, and I just took that as a gift. And McDonald's, like it. Merck, no trade. Microsoft, it took me a while to get into this one. There was a there was an opening, a sell-off, and a recovery, and then some sideways chop. And then in the afternoon, when all of this cleared and we're above this peak, and the rest of the market and tech was looking good, I went ahead and speculated in, and then it rewarded that and gave us 1, 2, 3R. So now I have a 3R cushion, and I'm willing to hold that in the tech sector in that bellwether. I think that we're going to love that trade for a while. That'd be my guess. Marijuana, one of the few losers today. No trade. Missed the short. Nike, this was as orderly a crossing of the Bollinger Band mean on lack of volatility as you could ask for. The VWAP closed here yesterday, came down here, and now everything is rising. Everything is rising. So I said, well, let's give it a try, and it just quietly gave us a little over 3R. And I feel like that is going to look like a turning point. And tomorrow this thing, which is at the end of a really long, painful sell-off, I mean, that's horrible. That's a 20% sell-off, and that's the first start of something new. That's on my short list for tomorrow. Nvidia benefited from tech strength right from the get-go, and that's going and going and gone and loving it. Same with Intel and Microsoft. So tech came in like a lion today. Clean energy, no trade. Rivian speculated on the PSAR flip. It closed pretty well for an R. It could have some room, and it can be gappy, so I'm hoping to get a favorable gap on it. The S&P was just unmitigated success all day, and it closed very, very well. Treasuries at a micro gain. Tesla looked pretty good, and I bought it on the basic market strength, and why not? It's at the end of we're going to like an entry around 239. Walmart, because why not? Strength in the large caps, good holiday season. PSAR flip was clear, an hour in and it was working, so why not? And then decided to hold it because I think the whole market is going to look like a positive sign from today. And then U.S. Steel was a tactical piece that we got a little bit of. So pretty happy with the adaptations today. I want to show the, let's see, let's get to the sniper trades of the day, and there's a few of them. So this one is in CVS. This was that big gap down, or actually a little gap down, and then a harsh sell-off, dropping like a rock. And so I put the short on it with the standard risk. And it did this, came all the way down to here, sold off and started reversing. When it moved a risk box off the low, I just cashed it and captured one about 2R out of the middle. And then it kept going. So I bought it here, hoping to see it get to the VWAP or back to close the gap. I'm thinking it can do that. But instead it sold off for an R quickly. And then I patiently waited for the R10 to reverse, which now makes the entry at the skin of the dragon with a standard risk box look like a 1, 2, 3 entry. And I'm still looking for that. And it kind of delivers, gets to the VWAP and then starts to stall. And I took, so 1 unit of risk. I took +2 out of this one, -1 out of that one, +2 out of that one. So that nets 3 on all that volatility that was triggered by that huge sell-off. Opportunity trading at its finest. And I think that was all I did for the day. Yeah. Let's see who this one is. This is in Nvidia. So tech leader, big gap up, OR3. And I had to buy it. There's a standard risk unit. Check or hold. That thing just takes off like a scalded ape. Didn't even have time to get a second position on. And now you can see it's starting to stall. And then, in my view, a perfect exit. So the thing to look at on this one is that first leg up, which goes to here, is that big. The second leg up, when it reverses and breaks up, is this big. And the last one is that big. And there's your little horns of the dragon. And that's a pretty good exit right at the Bollinger Band mean. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 5R. Tech leader leading the way. Caught a 2. and it closed pretty well. And I'm going to hold that for, and it gives us another couple R. So that's about 7R for the day in the usual way. You couldn't get two more different, trade series than those two. One is the burst and the other one's a grind. What made this one possible was just the fact that everything stayed north of the VWAP. So I have a long side bias anyway. And there's the cushion of 5R on the first trade. This one is AI, the company. So the blue box is an OR3, and it just stayed that way for the opening 30 minutes. And then you get like a COTA 2 and a breakout above the high of the day. So I take it, and the risk box just happened to put it right at the PSAR and the turning Bollinger Band main. And it's grinding north. COTA 2, stalling, lucky. Now it's stalling. I should be thinking about exiting, right? So we do. And that gives us 1, 2, 3, about 4R. Nice little travel. This one is Intel. This one was a gap up and go, just like Nvidia. And it blew up just like Nvidia. This is one I did get a second position on because it was stronger last week than Nvidia was. And then ended up exiting at about the same time as Nvidia. So and then a COTA 2 reentry and an extra R. So that made some money today. And no overnight risk, I think, because we tried it a couple more times, and then late in the afternoon, this gave me a collapsing dragon, and I was playing the VWAP magnet, and there it is, VWAP magnet. This is Microsoft. A delayed entry on that one after it broke out above the OR3. Did not explode like the semiconductors did, and just kind of grinding along with the staying north of the VWAP. When it finally broke out, made a new high of the day, the rest of the market was starting to work, led by tech, so I added a Microsoft position. Added a third position because why not? And then just cashed it at the end of the day, and that was pretty good work there. It was $1 risk, 1/3%. That one felt very orderly, and like this was institutional money buying it. Look how the VWAP responded and accelerated as it went late into that is late days buying right there. That is big money buying Microsoft to make the VWAP go up intraday like that. That's a lot of money being thrown at Microsoft. Then this one is McDonald's, the standard short. Scratch, SSC reversal, scratch, PSAR breakout, lost one, stopped and reversed, made one, SSE reentry. Now we got some traction. And it plays ball. We make bank on 3 positions, caught a 2 instant re-entry, and then pick up an extra 1. Good day at work. The traders, George with a nice work on this one. He notices the PSAR flip. We can't short ETHE, but the move was there in the currency. I love this one. I love the exit even more. I love the re-entry. The second position is fine, and he comes out of there with about net 1R. Really good work. Crushes Bitcoin. We might have. Oh yeah, you can't short this one either. Good, 2 good scratches, but he stays with it, and they all look the same leaving the station. This is one where it broke above the high of the day. You might think about adding a second position in here because it's really pulling away from the VWAP, and I want to try to get it right about there. This is still a good shot, and you didn't stick around too long. So that's perfectly played. And then Satya in AMD. This also benefited from the semiconductor burst. He gets a good leg up for 3.2. Misses the Kata 2. I don't know that I like this one. I think maybe I stop and reverse here because tech was so good today. And this failure to fail after a move like that, the entire semi sector was great. This might have been a stop and reverse opportunity. But still, we can net 3 on that and be happy for the day. All right, let's see the reports. Great big elephant bar going up, pushing back towards the previous peak, getting ready for an all-time high. Look at that move on the 30-minute. Holy smokes. A reversal of all this pain and suffering. Happens that fast. Bullish normal, overbought across the board. Volatility's favorable for long side. Big wins in Nvidia today. Boeing was the only suffering symbol, I would say. In the ETFs, you had ag was suffering, but great news from Japan and healthcare. And still a good number of auto framers are available. I like Tesla at 4 to 1, the Russell at 2.5 to 1, Tech at 2.2 to 1. So there's still room for this thing to follow through tomorrow. Be ready for Tech to really. I expect them to add gas tomorrow to Tech. So let's be ready for volatility in both directions tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be prime time tech trading, in my view. Still being dominated by fall and summer. Lots of strength across the board. Very few signs of weakness. Energy being one of them. And the usual suspects. Tesla, Intel, Devon, and Nvidia all getting ready to crank it tomorrow. Watch the semis tomorrow. And Microsoft, too. I mean, just love it anyway. All right, take good care. We'll get this published and posted.